The new, controversial and highly debated FIFA Football Agent Regulations have now come into force on the 9th of January 2023. But what does that mean financially? The regulations have been hotly debated for quite some time and were approved by FIFA on the 16th of December 2022. They've now come into effect from the 9th of January 2023, but there is a transition period up to the 1st of October 2023. The provisions around becoming a football agent have already come into effect, but the remainder of the regulations, including the cap on agent fees and other items that we'll go into in this video, don't apply till the 1st of October. So what impact is it going to have financially? First of all, let's look at this from the agent's perspective. The agents will be required to pass an exam and pay a license fee of $600 US. That fee is an annual fee and therefore will need to be paid each year by the agent. The agent is also going to have a requirement to comply with continual professional development requirements, or CPD. This will be an ongoing requirement into perpetuity. The agents will also need to agree to abide by the FIFA regulations. The upcoming summer transfer window in 2023 is the final transfer window where the previous regulations would apply. And that would mean that there are no caps on agent fees. But thereafter, there are significant changes to the agent's regulations. Presently, an agent can represent more than one party. That could be the buying club, the selling club, and the player. Under the new regulations, the agent can represent the buying club and the player, but the selling club cannot be included in that arrangement. One of the most significant changes in the regulations is the cap on commissions. This could have a significant financial impact on the industry as a whole, on agents' remuneration, and potentially on the transfer fees and the wages which they're measured against. We'll put a link to the FIFA regulations below the video for those that are interested to read about this further. But in brief, the agent's fee is going to be capped at either 5% or 3% of the player's remuneration, depending on the level of that remuneration. It's 5% for the amount up to $200,000 per annum, and 3% thereafter. So most football players are going to earn in excess of $200,000 per annum. So the agent fee is going to be largely capped for anything in excess of $200,000 a year at 3%. That percentage will double to either 10 or 6% depending on the level of the individual's remuneration if the agent is representing more than one party, i.e. the engaging club or the buying club and the player in that dual representation contract. In the event that the agent is representing the releasing club, their commission will be capped at 10% of the transfer fee, because obviously the wages paid are going to be negotiated by the acquiring club. One other significant financial change to the regulations is the individual or the party that is going to pay that agent fee. A new client pays principle is going to come into force. And that means that the engaging party that's dealing with that agent will have to pay the agent for those services. It's common practice presently that clubs would pay agent fees for players on their behalf. And that can muddy the waters between club services and player services that are being provided by the same agent. And that will have significantly different financial consequences, particularly in the tax space. So the change in regulations will clarify that position. And if the player is being represented by the agent, it's on the player to pay that fee. And that will have to come out of their post-tax salary. In the UK, that would mean that the PAYE and national insurance would have been withheld by the club before being paid to the player, and the player would then have to pay the agent thereafter. FIFA will hope that this will help to control the wages market, the remuneration that's being paid to agents, and hopefully contribute to the control mechanism around transfer fees. But it could have the opposite effect. If you put a cap or a limit on the people who are negotiating the contracts with regards to their remuneration with a variable within that equation, then that variable could well increase. And that could have the opposite of the desired effect. If the player has an arrangement with their agent and they're expecting to be paid a certain amount, with a cap in relation to their salary, the player may turn around to the club and request an increase in that salary, especially since the player is being advised by the agent whose remuneration is going to be restricted. Equally, from a selling club's perspective, if the agent can only receive 10% of that transfer fee from the outgoing player's point of view, the agent may well look to inflate that price to therefore increase the amount of compensation that they're going to receive. So it's going to be an interesting period of time in the area of agent fees as we move into these new regulations. What are your thoughts when it comes to agent remuneration? Should they be capped, or would it have potentially the opposite effect and inflate an already inflated market when it comes to transfer fees and player wages? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the video, hit like and subscribe for more. My name is Neil Wood and I'm a football finance professional.